Nelly, Country Grammar. Never heard it. The first time I heard Country Grammar, I was a fan. Nothing sounded like it, it was catchy, and I immediately wanted to hear more. So why didn't I? Well, the 2000s also coincided with my underground years. Now, I've said in other videos that the 2000s is one of my least favorite decades in hip-hop. I wasn't listening to much hip-hop at the time, and the hip-hop that I was listening to was mostly underground. You know, the Raucous, Anacon, Def Jux, stuff like that. And anything that didn't have that flavor, I didn't spend any money on. I might watch the video or turn up the radio, but no dinero. This album features 3 Cedric the Entertainer skits, and I realized something. Is there a comedian with more hip-hop skits than Cedric the Entertainer? He's on 2 Nelly albums, a Jay-Z album, a Bun B album, 2 Royce da 5'9" albums. Is there anyone that has more? Chris Rock, maybe. This album is produced by J.E. and City Spud, whose sounds are so similar it's kind of hard to tell them apart, which is good because it gives the album a cohesive sound, but bad because that sound isn't very nuanced. Anytime Nelly isn't bringing his A1 game, the album kind of grinds to a halt. Don't get me wrong, Nelly brings his A game more often than not, and the Lunatics pick up the slack. But I'm not going to give a track by track review because I kind of have the same feeling on most of the songs here. This album kind of sounds like if you were to take early 2000s Lil Wayne, add some Crazy Bone, and sprinkle in a little 50 Cent. The genius of this album, and Nelly, is his ability to take the most menacing thing and make it sound like a nursery rhyme. There are songs like Country Grammar where he's literally taking a drive-by and wrapping it up in a literal nursery rhyme, but there are also songs like Greed, Hate, Envy where he's vividly talking about selling drugs, and Throw Them Raps where there's plenty of gunplay. There are times on this album where if it had some Just Blaze production, it could have been a State Property album. Aside from that, this album pretty much sounded like I thought it would. I understand why this album is a classic because this was a pivotal point for singing in hip-hop. Before this, rappers sang as a joke. Your Eric Sermons, your Biz Marquis, your Grand Poobahs. And in the 90s, you had Bone Thugs and Harmony, but they're an anomaly. You can't really compare them to anyone else. By the 2000s, you had Ja Rule, 50 Cent, and even Andre 3000 singing in earnest. But let's be honest, these guys can't sing. Nelly was one of the first people who could actually carry a tune to combine rapping and singing. In fact, if you were to update the production, add some auto-tune to his vocals, you'd basically have a Polo G album. Also, this album went diamond. It took him a decade and a half, but he did it. There are a few album cuts that I like St. Louis and Rap Something, but you're pretty much coming back for the singles. I mean, Ride With Me is still a bop, and it's the basis for pretty much all country rap. So have you heard Country Grammar? Are you still bumping it to this day? I'm gonna keep reviewing albums until I run out. Until then, this is Free Tillman, the only guy on the internet that doesn't know everything.